Right then folk, welcome back to another video beer review. Today we've got a versus. As promised, I was going to do a versus of this Verdant ESB, Verdant Adnams ESB, and I'm going to do a versus with the only kind of real promoted ESB that I can find on supermarket shelves, and it is Fuller's ESB. So both relatively similar ABV, this 5.5, this one 5.9. I think on cask, is it 5.5 on cask? But just bumped up a bit for bottle. So yeah, it's been about a week and a bit since I had the had this. So I'll crack this one open first, and we're going to use. I don't have two tulip glasses, unfortunately. I've got a tulip and a straight glass, and it's going to have to be Verdant in this one, and then the Fuller's ESB in that one. So we'll crack open the standard, or the Verdant, sorry. Pop it in here, lob it in there. And, well, it's not the cleanest of glassware, but it's cleaner than you'll find in many a pub. So we'll roll with that. And I'll do the... There we go. Clean, instantly clean. And then Fuller's in this one. So got a bit of head on that Verdale one. So this, we'll see colour as well, because that's always something I like to look at, see the difference between the two. Oh, this glass is similar levels of cleanliness. Basically, the dishwasher's got to that point where on the softener's gone, I think, and as a result, everything just gets caked in shite. But clarity of beers, I mean, this is Mr. Flying Guy, I think it was, commented on the my use of fish. I mean, that is clearer. That is a clearer beer than the last Verdale was. Clearer than the last. Again, not perfect, but not far off. But it's weirdly clearer than the last one. Possibly because it has been sat and haven't thrown it around that much. That might be a reason. It probably isn't though. And then there you go, the Fuller's. So this one definitely has a slightly darker head on it. Colour, pretty damn close. I'd say this is a touch darker. The Verdale is than the Fuller's ESB. Let's go on the nose. I'm going to go on the Verdant one because Fuller's ESB, once you smell that, I think it's hard to unsmell it. Nose, this is bready, slightly perfumed, biscuity, caramel, earthy. Definitely smelling more of a hoppiness on that one. And then the ESB. It smells like Granny's perfume and booze behind it. It smells... I'm going to read up on the ingredients in this because it smells kind of like how it used to, but it also not. So add all these kind of Goldings and Fuggles to the hops in this, water, barley, hops and yeast. That's all they say on the Verdale one. On the ESB, proudly pioneered by Fuller's, this is the ESB that started it all. Great. Any ingredients? Probably none, but it does say North Down, Challenger, Target, and Goldings. So they've kind of gone a bit more well, Goldings is the shared one. I mean, they say EKG, so mildly different, but Challenger, Target, North Down. None of what are on that. Rich malts. It smells really... Yeah, it smells boozy, but I think there's... On some of the beers that Fuller's have done, I think there's a bit of a cheapening up of ingredients since the takeover. I know it wasn't the takeover on the brewery, it was mainly to do... Well, sorry, it was takeover of the brewery, not the pubs. Yeah, I just feel like in some places, some beers for sure, I've had some really dodgy bottles of the Golden Pride in my time, but Yeah, I don't know the best before on this one. I can't really see it anywhere. Okay, down the bottom. 1st of September. It's got bloody ages on it. 1st September 24. And this is, of course, 25th of April 24. But it's way fresher. Let's go in on the Verd Ale. Cheers. Earthy, bitter, caramel, toffee, mild kind of like honey sweetness. It's a cracking ESB, that is. But again, I think like what picked up in the last time, it has this slightly short, biscuity kind of bready finish, which is more comparable to more what you'd expect out of like a bitter, session bitter sort of thing rather than the ESB. Let's go on the Fuller's ESB. Probably taint my taste buds with this. Oh yeah. It's a different kettle of fish to what it is on cask. It's really boozy in comparison. Really boozy. And it's only 0.4%, and that suggests to me like glucose? Invert sugar maybe? I don't know if they party guile there. I think they might do. But yeah, it doesn't... It's almost vinegary. You know, when the beer's turning, which is not good. It's not that far gone, but my God, this has got more flavour from the yeast though. Once you know the kind of estuary notes, and it's typical Fuller's, but yeah, it's not the best ESB I've had. I'll be honest with that. Straight in on more of the same beer that isn't tasting how I remember it tasting. Yeah, it's just more acidic, tartar, not in an enjoyable way. And this has gone completely opposite way of the way I thought it would go in terms of what beer I like and what beer I prefer. But what I must still say is I think the ESB has more malty flavours. It definitely does deliver that in general when I've had it in the past. And there's elements of that in there, but yeah, it's just not tasting good. This bottle's just not tasting good. You know, normally it's so perfumed and granny's perfume in your face and stuff, and this one, it still is that, but then there's this, yeah, acidic. No, I'm going to leave that there. Back on the ESB, the Verd Ale one. Weird. It's definitely, going back onto this, you definitely notice how hoppy it is in comparison. It's almost like a modern interpretation of an ESB when you go onto this. Yeah. So it's still kind of, you know, gives you all those malty vibes. But I think out of the two, you know, weird one this. Weird one. Don't know if it's a Duff bottle. I think I haven't had the greatest bottle here with this ESB. It's not tasting brilliant. I'll probably, well, I won't get really a chance to do another versus. But yeah, not tasting very good. So in this taste test, Verdant wins, hands down. It has more hoppiness, but less in the maltiness. And the finish on this is a bit, you know, where you're not getting as much yeastiness where you are definitely with the Fuller's beers. But I think as a modern version, a good old attempt at an ESB as well, the first attempt at an ESB or anything in this sort of style, I think it's a cracking attempt, like I said on the previous review. But yeah, well, another one up for that. See you next one. Cheers.